Hello guys, in this video I'm going to share with you my production setup for the Shrooms in the game Shuttle 1. The setup is fully automated and I'll be going over the equipment setup, the worker settings, the deliveries, basically everything you need to know. And I would like to point out that I don't know how much product I am producing every single day, but it's the max possible just because the ratios are pretty much perfect, and also the main bottleneck here is the amount of workers you can hire. And so basically if you want to have everything automated, you cannot have more than whatever I have. And that is why actually I try to keep the setup itself very clean. I don't try to cramp everything together because there is no need for that. And this is the best I could come up with. And I'm very proud of this setup, so that's why I decided to share it with you guys. Let's start with the equipment itself. So we're looking at the barn from the front, and on the right side here we have, well, a column consisting of cells. Barn has these pillars, and every 4 pillars kind of represent a single cell. And in the cell we have a conditioner in the center set to cooling and 8 mushroom beds next to it. And that's basically it, very simple. This is the whole cell, and you repeat the same for all the others on the right side. And on the left side it's pretty much the same except for the final cell here. You cannot really organize it the same way just because of the ladder going up there. And that's why we repurpose it with 2 mushroom spawn stations against the wall, and 2 squares apart from it there's 2 huge storage closets. That's basically it for the left side as well. And in the center we have a conditioner set up in the center of the cell, set to heating, and 2 drying racks on each side of it. You can also look at it from the side and see that the conditioner is aligned with all the other conditioners in the same row. And it goes the same for the next row and the next, and this final row is gonna kill a little perfectionist inside of you because it cannot really be perfectly aligned because of the ladder once again. But it's just aesthetics. Alright, and in the final cell here you have just, well, conditioner and 2 racks on just one side. On the other side, however, you have a huge storage closet and brick press. That is it for the first floor, and on the second floor I just have a cozy room for myself and all the personnel closets. Well, also this huge storage closet is a part of production process. It involves a neat trick that I'm going to share with you a bit later. So this actually serves a purpose as well for the production. And as you can see, you can move around freely around it. Around this property. There's no clusterfuck anywhere. Everything is clean visually and functionally. So yeah, I'm very proud of it. And now that we've covered everything regarding the equipment, let's start talking about the workers and all the settings. We have 9 botanists and 1 handler. And I will be explaining everything backtracking. It will be easier for me to explain and for you to follow. So the final product is gonna end up on this middle shelf. As you can see, they're pumping. I don't know how many days have passed, but not that many. Well, you don't really need to set anything up on the closet itself, but the brick press right next to it has to have its destination set to this closet. So now we gotta answer, how do things get to the brick press? And for that, we select every drying rack and select, well, first of all, threshold to 20 and destination to this brick press. Also, quickly, I would like to mention that if you wanted, you could say you can set this whole thing producing the heavenly quality. I just don't do that right now because I couldn't be bothered, but I'll explain how to do it. The main idea here is you want to have your initial quality 1 off from the target quality, not to hinder the production. And as I said, you can up it by 1 without hindering anything. You just gotta set it up a little different. I'll explain how in a sec, but for now let's just stick with that. Alright, so I'm not using any fertilizer. That's basically the explanation. I couldn't be bothered for now. Okay, so now we gotta answer the question how things get to the drying racks. And for that, let's quickly have a look at one of the mushroom bed cells. It has 8 mushroom beds. So we select like 4 of them, press F, and set its destination to one of the drying racks on its side. And select the other 4 and set its destination to the other drying rack on its side. And you do that for every single mushroom bed. And then we gotta answer how do things get to the, well, mushroom bed. And everything that goes into the mushroom bed is gonna be stored in this left huge storage closet. So there's gonna be... So first, let's talk about the closet itself. You gotta set up the filters, so you gotta whitelist the shroom spawn for the top row, or at least 8 of its cells. And all the bottom row should be probably whitelisted to mushroom substrate. I don't have it right now, but it really should be the whitelist for mushroom substrate. And these two don't matter, really. If you wanted to keep it clean, you just set the top row to mushroom spawn and bottom row to mushroom substrate. Okay, so that's it about the huge storage closet itself. And then how do we get the shroom spawn here? And how do we get mushroom substrate here? Well, let's start with the spawn. And for that, we select mushroom spawn stations and select its destination to this closet. And regarding the mushroom substrate, you got to select the handler and set the route from the loading dock 2 to that storage. That's very important. Second loading dock. So you like basically come up to this, press this, from and to that storage closet. Oh. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sorry. And now we gotta answer how do things get to the mushroom spawn station. And everything that goes inside the mushroom spawn station come from this right. Well, I was looking from this side, so yeah, from this and from the other basically huge storage closet. If we open it up, you gotta set the top row with spore syringe and the bottom row with grain bag whitelist. I don't have it set it up as I'm explaining right now, just because I'm lazy. And if you manage it through deliveries, it shouldn't be a problem. But actually, it's better if you set just the spore syringe as the top row whitelist and the grain bag as the bottom one. All right, and well, how do things move from this storage closet to the spawn station? For that, you use the handler once again. You basically set up the route from the huge storage closet to each of the mushroom spawn stations. Alrighty, and to move things inside this closet, so we've just covered how to get things to the spawn stations, and to actually get things inside this closet, we once again gotta go to the handler and select the loading dock 1 and that huge storage closet right here as its destination. And you could see that there is one more actually route from the loading dock 1. I'll explain it, well, I guess right now. It's just a neat trick that I figured out while playing this game. That so basically you select the loading dock 1 and set its destination to this huge storage closet on the second floor. And the reason you do that is, let's say you've messed up the deliveries and you have more well, grain bags, let's say, than syringes. And so the closet itself will not get clogged because you have filters set up, so it will not be overflown with grain bags. But still, the grain bags are gonna be left unloaded at the loading dock. And it will postpone your next delivery. So since this delivery is not gonna be unloaded in timely manner, it's gonna just stay there until the grain bags run out. And to prevent it, to have everything unloaded quicker, even if you don't need it at the moment, to requeue your next delivery faster, you basically set whatever leftovers from the loading dock to this overflow storage closet. Well, hopefully you got the idea. All right. And basically that is it. That was the most tedious part. Now everything we have to do is just come up to each one of the botanists. Well, actually, so we have 7 cells of just mushrooms beds, and we will have 7 botanists exclusively assigned to these cells. So 7 cells, 7 botanists. That's simple as that. So I've just selected a botanist, and you click on every single mushroom bed in one cell, and then we select the supplies set to this closet right here. And also, so basically we have now 2 botanists that are unassigned. Let's say this is the one, and you're gonna assign 7 of the drying racks to each one of them, and just 1 mushroom spawn stations once again to each one of them. So it's gonna be 7 drying racks and 1 mushroom spawn station per botanist that are left over. So you can see I've selected 7 of the drying racks, and there's still 7 left. So this is the perfect assignment. And you don't really have to set up the supplies for these workers because, well, they don't use any supplies. Everything is moved by the handler for them. And that is it. And now I'll just quickly explain. That is basically it, to be honest. So yeah, you can... well, hopefully you've had all the information needed. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention the deliveries. Yeah. So you just gotta... for this to operate fully automatically, you just gotta keep requeuing the same deliveries from the fungal fill. It's gonna be 2 deliveries. The first one is 80 grain bags and 80 spore syringes. And the second one is, well, I set it to 100 mushroom substrate, but it really should be 80 mushroom substrate because it will eventually overflow. I mean, as I said, it's not gonna overflow if you have your filters set up as I said in the video, but it's gonna postpone your next delivery because this is gonna sit longer in the loading dock. So it's gonna be 80. And that's it. So just 2 deliveries, you requeue one after the other. So first, let's say 80 grain bags and 80 spore syringes, you reorder that, and then 80 mushroom substrate, you reorder that, and keep doing that. That is it. And now for the fertilizer. So to set it up with the fertilizer, to up your quality to the heavenly, all you want to do is set this huge storage filters so that 6 is going to be a shroom spawn, 6 is going to be mushroom substrate, and 6 is going to be fertilizer. So is 18 and 2 of the leftovers, it doesn't matter. Also, you want to set the target quality on the racks to heavenly. Also, you want to set the additive for each of the mushroom beds to, well, fertilizer. And you want to... The last thing you want to do is just order, instead of 80 mushroom substrate, you would order, well, 60 mushroom substrate and also 60 fertilizer. And that's basically it. Without anything else added or needed, you just up your quality by 1. As I said, I just initially set it up like this, and I don't really see the reason to boost the quality by 1, but it's probably better. I will set it up eventually after this video, but yeah, haven't yet. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. Hopefully I explained everything clearly and you like the setup. Leave a like, comment something. It's I like reading the comments. So yeah. See you in the next video. I'm gonna be covering all of my other setups as well. Have a good day.